Well, aloha kakahiaka. Good morning, everyone. What are you thankful for? We are today, it is Friday, the 24th of November, and we are celebrating all the things that we are thankful for on the after day of Thanksgiving. And right now, I am super thankful that I've got my good friend Dylan Nonaka who's with me. We're Heidi. I don't know if Heidi's going to be here, or I don't know if Ashley's going to be there. May or may not, but I am thankful that you are here, Dylan, that you and I are here doing our thing. What's going on, man? How are you today? You know what? We're just gonna, Dylan, because it's just you and me today. We're just gonna like roll with it. We got the market, we got the whole thing. We got Michael's here with us because Michael's thankful he's got a loving family and proud to have lived and Barbara's thankful. I'm thankful for the country of my birth, the USA, and pray we remain one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Barbara. That's a great thing. We got let me do a quick lineup here real fast. So we're going to do some news. We got a little bit of a market update. Dylan's going to talk about the market. What are you thankful for is the key thing that we're going to be talking about. We've probably got some diamonds and deals and some motivational thoughts. So Dylan, what's going on, buddy? How you look like you're in a remote location today?
Yeah, I'm actually out at Kingsland in Waikoloa Resort, and it's a timeshare complex that's really cool. It's like all these, there's 3 stories, but they're spread out over a pretty long area. There's several different pool complexes for kids and stuff. And my auntie and uncle are they love using they love timeshares. A lot of people hate timeshares, but they are very good timeshare users and highly recommended. And so this is one of them that they own, and they come and stay here. They're from Hilo, but they come and stay on this side for the holidays. We had the big holiday party at my house last night, and so they stay here for the weekend. So we came out. Kids want to swim in the pool and stuff, so couldn't miss the show though. So I said, as long as there's Wi-Fi, I will come, and then as long as I have a bedroom I can use to be quiet, I will come and I'll do the show, and then I will head to the pool afterwards. So that's the plan today.
Man, thanks. Now that is, I got to I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. That is true dedication. We're kind of like this, like a middle kind of a thing after things. After what did you call it? The food coma. After the
Food coma.
post Thanksgiving
Yeah.
food coma. We're all still kind of waking up and making it through. It's 10 o'clock this morning, but
Kanak
I can't.
attack, right?
The
Kanak
Kanak,
attack.
the Kanak attack, the Kanak attack, the Kanak attack. I love it. And hey, Sue's with us. Hey, Sue, welcome back. She actually made it one time. Sue, we are thankful. We are thankful that you made it. That you made it. All right, awesome. Why don't we do this? I got a couple of things. Maybe Dylan, we could kind of switch up the news format a little bit here today because since you and I are both on it here, I'll kind of throw you on and maybe we can kind of chat our way through these really quick. Navy plane in the bay. I don't know if you folks saw this one, but it almost looks like a view out of that Captain Sully who landed the plane in the Hudson River, I think a while ago. That looks like that, doesn't it? No, it happened in Kaneohe. I don't know if you heard about this, Dylan, right? There was a Navy plane that overshot the. Yeah, did you hear about that? Right? It overshot the runway in Kaneohe and landed in the ocean safely. But that was like a big news for a while. Kilauea, I don't know, Dylan, if you heard the news about Kilauea, they look like it's kind of restless. It's kind of coming back again. Any news that you heard on your side about that at all?
It just seems like that's par for the course, right? It's like seems like it's been like kind of quiet for a few months, and then it'll erupt for a couple of weeks, and then it goes quiet for a couple of months, and it goes erupt for a couple of weeks. So it seems like that's like the phase that we're in, is just the rest. I guess restless is a good word for it.
Restless, right? Yeah. Back and forth. Well, we'll leave this off for another time for Heidi. But I don't know if you heard about this or anything, but I'm seeing there's a Maui rental conflict that's kind of seems to be rising up. I don't know if you caught this or not, but there's a sense of the what's going on is that there's all these. You still have thousands of people that have been displaced by the fires in Maui, and right now they're staying in vacation rentals, the empty vacation rental. Well, it was empty vacation rentals.
Hotels.
They're staying or hotels,
Yeah,
and being paid for by federal aid, FEMA, etc. And now these property owners are saying, hey, we need to kind of charge a lot more because we would get a lot more if we had visitors. So, what are we going to do about this? And so I see a conflict coming. I see a conflict coming where either the money is going to run out or, there's talk about doing some kind of laws to force some kind of price controls. I think this thing is good. We'll see, Dylan. But my take on this is that you've got this is going to be a huge test for Hawaii's the political class, the Maui government, the state government. Massive challenge for them because they've got this big huge issue that occurred, this disaster that they've sort of got to fix, and they're like grabbing the whole thing to try to fix it. I think it's going to be a big challenge, and I don't want to talk about let's not talk about the track record of our governments and getting stuff done, Dylan. Let's not do that. But I'll just leave that. We'll just leave that for people to think about. I'm not moving on. Next slide, please. Next slide. I don't know if I heard the story about this, but for Bob Carl just joined in. Bob, welcome, buddy. Hope you're all enjoying it here. We're having our "What Are You Thankful For" day today. So think about this, folks. By the way. Think about, I'd like you folks to all think about and pop it in the comments. What is it that you're thankful for? This is your time to share. Think about, what is it? Whatever. Pop it in. I want to share this as truly a Thanksgiving show. I really want to make this a Thanksgiving show. So thanks, Bob, for joining us. Hey, have you heard about this Hindu temple? Look at this thing. This is a Hindu temple on Kauai. And apparently it's the only one in the West of its kind, which is it was made without power tools, and carved out of granite. It is, that whole thing is, look at that thing. It is a granite hand carved Hindu temple on Kauai. Dylan, there's all kinds of funky things on Kauai. There was a famous hippie story of Kauai in the 70s, and now they got a Hindu temple. It's pretty amazing, man.
I've met several people that moved to Hawaii to follow their Hindu faith and change their name and stuff, right? And they have these Hindu names, and then left, right? But they live a normal life now, and it's just funny that I mean I don't know if that's part of it or not, but throughout life I've met several folks that was kind of their origin story of coming to Hawaii.
That's amazing. Well, I think we'll have to ask. We'll have to ask Tulsi Gabbard if she's ever been there. She's a famous Hindu, if I'm not mistaken. Tulsi Gabbard's a famous. Okay. Anyway, hey. Okay. Finally, Maui Not So Strong. This is the Maui Strong Fund has they've raised $150 million, and I think they're getting a little bit of flack now because they're being accused of sort of not spending the money fast enough. It's kind of not going out. And I was interested to I looked at they interviewed Mike Akane, who Dylan. He's the guy has had an amazing history in Hawaii of public service and things of that nature. Anyway, he said that they're spending 20 to 25% for the first few months. They're going to hold back 70 to 85% for the recovering and stabilization period over the next couple of years, and after that, only 3 to 5% for ongoing grants. What do you when you hear that? I mean, we're not here to armchair quarterback what people are doing, but I found it interesting that they only allocated 20% for immediate and 70 to 85 for a recovering and stabilization period. I don't know what your sense is on that. Again, I can't armchair quarterback, but people are saying that, hey, they're not spending this fast enough. They got all this money, and that's sort of the complaint. I don't know if you've caught anything about that at all.
Yeah, I guess the question is, from a management standpoint, what do you spend it on, right? Do you just give it directly to folks to figure out what they need help with, or if the plan is to spend it on infrastructure and buildings and rebuilding public space and stuff like that? You're not going to be able to spend it right now, right? I mean, the cleanup process has to happen, permitting processes have to happen. I mean, it could be several years, but I think it goes back to just being aware and careful of where you give your money, and making sure that the place you're giving your money to, what the intent is, what their plan is, how they're going to spend it, because once you give it away and they got it, they're going to, they get to decide what that looks like. So there's still lots of different other funds. It's not the only one to give money to.
And that was the thing. I mean, look, we endorsed Maui Strong, and they're highly endorsed. They're part of the Hawaii Community Foundation. They're a reputable organization. They're not in any way a less than 100% up. But like you said, you just don't know how they're going to end up spending it. And I think there's some sort of an expectation when people donate in a time of crisis, right? I guess mentally, what I was thinking about is like, when you donate in a time of crisis, you kind of have some sort of an expectation that that money's going to be used immediately. That's why, we helped out some of your folks because I knew it was going directly to the person, and maybe that's the better way to do it, right? Peer to peer donating. You give it directly to a person. It's going to them, and you're just going to trust that they're going to do what they know what to do best with it. That's kind of interesting of economics. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
And hey, Auntie Joan has joined it. Hey, Joan, welcome, Joan. Aloha, Peter and Dylan. Welcome. Aloha back to you. We are talking about what are you most thankful for? But before we do that, Dylan, do you have any kind of a Maui, a Big Island market update that you want to share at all?
Just that it's really slow. We don't get the new data into the end of the month, so we're about 3 weeks into the month. But it's as of today, we have a 218 sales, which is slow. It's only about 70 a week, and if we add 70 more on for the last week, it'd still be under 300 sales for the month, which is historically very, very low. It's 369 last month, which was pretty low. Under 400 is low. So not super surprising. September, October are usually really slow months for real estate in Hawaii. So closings happen in November, right? I mean, that's the 45 to 60-day lag in the way the real estate market works. So a lot of people avoid, like I've talked about before, the Big Island in October because of Ironman, and even the lead up to it, the couple of weeks in September leading up to October, the island starts filling up with people in Speedos. So the regular folks don't come, and the people in Speedos don't buy real estate. So it's not a historically odd occurrence, but it's definitely gonna be a slow month in terms of activity. But prices are still stable, even up a couple of percent from a year ago. So the big message is good time to buy because it's not that much competition, and good time to sell because there's still very, very low inventory. So it's a weird market, but we've been talking about that for months now.
Man, I think you just gave a quote that should be emblazoned on a t-shirt or something. People in Speedos don't buy homes. I love that. That's the one right there, man. People in Speedos don't buy homes. I love it. And it's true. It's true, but it just kind of stuck out to me, man. That's the quote. That's the Dylanism for today. And my old buddy Paul Stan is a longtime subscriber and fan of the YouTube channel. Aloha. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Paul, I had a great Thanksgiving, and I am continuing to have a great Thanksgiving today because I'm really thankful that you made it. I truly am. I'm truly thankful, Paul. You jumped in and commented. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming back. Josephine's got Burned Back Better by Shelley Hosanna. Makes you really question that fire, the mercy proclamation that everything the officials did to impede people from saving their life. I'll leave that out for you. Josephine, there's going to be all kinds of, I think this story is going to be written many, many, many times over, and we're going to see a lot of things that are going to be popping out of all kinds. It's going to, I don't think if we're ever going to know the true truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth of what happened. It's always overlaid by a variety of stories, one way or another. Hey, thanks, Paul, for the emojis, buddy. Cool. Hey, so folks, here's the big question for today, and we're just gonna to let it roll. I kind of really I want to hear from all of you, which is, what are you most thankful for? Pop it in the comments. Love to see it. Josephine, I hope you're more thankful than just reading the book. But everybody, please pop it in the comments. I'd like to get your think about this. Of course, I'm sure you have thought about it. It is Thanksgiving. What are you most thankful for? Pop it in. Dylan, what comes out to you? I actually thought about this a little bit today before the show. One of the few times that I actually think about what I'm going to say before the show pops on. What pops out to you? We all have these generic things, right? We're thankful to be alive. We're thankful to be healthy. We're thankful to live in Hawaii. We're thankful that we have that. We're thankful that we have family. Yes. Give me something like hone in. Give me a focal point. What are you thankful for?
Well, after yesterday, definitely what a big one for me, aside from all of those things, is my great auntie came over for dinner, which she always does during holidays, and she's the last one of that generation. She's my grandfather's sister, and everyone in that generation of my family is gone now except for her. And she has terminal cancer. A couple of years ago, she was doing treatment. She decided, that's enough. I'm good. I think she's about 90 years old, and just to see her still showing up, living life, prioritizing spending time with family, enjoying all of the food. I mean, it's just, I just look at that as something that to be grateful for, but also something to aspire to, because it's got to be hard, all the changes that have gone on in the last 100 years, and seeing all of your family pass and kind of being the last one has to be, there's a lot not to be happy about, right, at that point in life. And just to see her just still living in joy and being positive and spending time and was just something to super be grateful for. And also having the opportunity to be, our home now is like the gathering place for our whole family, right? So all of my aunties come, my dad's, both his sisters, my mom comes, it's a big gathering. 25, 30 people come to my house for Thanksgiving dinner, and it's great to be able to do that, right? I mean, that just having the home and the ability to host after all of the years of someone else doing it, I just feel like extremely blessed to be in a position to be the gathering place for the family. So it's always a fun day on Thanksgiving, but it's like that for 4th of July and Christmas and the kids' birthdays and stuff. And so we, again, something to be thankful for. Get to do that a lot in Hawaii, just because a lot of family is still here, and it's just such a priority for folks that they don't, they will prioritize spending time at those gatherings with family over many other things in life. And I never take that for granted.
Yeah, I mean, thank you, Dylan. Those are fabulous examples. Now, those are fabulous examples, and that's exactly what I was kind of hoping to get is some specifics. It's always kind of fun to get the specifics. How old now is your great auntie?
I don't know. I think she's like 90 though. She's like 89 or 90. Okay. So
she's right up. Yeah. That is to have those kind of folks around. It's kind of wild, yeah, because now, in our family gatherings, we're now kind of getting more into the older crowd, and then there's a new generation that's taken over. So you represent that new generation that's sort of taking over. It now becomes Dylan's house is now the family house where everybody gets together, and that's that is a great honor. Paul, thank you, Paul. Honestly, thankful that I was lucky enough to have lived in Hawaii for 6 years in the 70s to the early 80s. It was the happiest time of my life. Paul, I'm so glad that you were able to do that. And Hawaii is, I know it's forever in your heart, Paul. I could tell. And thank you for sharing that. On the thankful part, what I was thinking about, what I want to give something like specific, and here's a specific thing I'm thankful for. Yesterday, Thanksgiving, my wife and I did the thing that I'm just eternally thankful for. We got dressed in our swimwear, no towels, nothing, just like swimwear, and walked out of our house and for a 5-minute walk, not more than 5 minutes, 5-minute walk, and jumped into tropical waters and swam this beautiful reefy area. It's really, really cool. There's a sand, but we have to take this. It's a special place near our house. We have to walk you have to walk maybe a quarter mile out into the water to get to a sandbar. And it's this beautiful sandbar, and it's like a pool, and we're splish splashing. And I'm looking back, and I'm seeing this beautiful island with coconut trees and mountains and clouds. And I'm just sitting there with my wife and I, and we're just enjoying the water. And I'm like, man, this is like, and then we just walk back. We walk back, cross the street, go into the house, shower down, dry out, and sitting back. It was just like, wow. And it's like, dude, we didn't have to drive. We didn't drive to a beach where we had to park and hang out in the whatever. No, it's just like walk out of your house, 5 minutes, tropical water, crystal clear. It was beautiful, crystal clear. We go there on a regular basis. So it's kind of fun, right? Because if you go there, I know where every rock is. I know where every single coral head is. I know where everything is. I got the whole place wired. And so, yeah,
people save a lifetime for that experience, right? To do it at one time, Yeah.
That right? They save a lifetime to do that once, and we do it like, especially during the summer, we're doing like 3 times a week, and now it's like it's not as, not that much because the weather and stuff like that, but because of course we're spoiled now, right? So we don't we don't go out unless it's like absolutely a picture perfect day. If it's not picture perfect with puffy white clouds, it's like, this is icky. Let's just stay inside the house. But yeah, that's what we did. It was great. Hey, we got a few folks. Thanks, folks, that are sharing the things that you're thankful for. It means a lot to us, and everyone appreciates this too. Linda, thank you, Linda. Linda Kawakami, so thankful to be my new career as a real estate agent and part of Dylan's The Agency team. Linda, boom, you get a 10. What a perfect perfect thing to
Linda
say.
is awesome. She's a
Excellent.
blessing. She's been a blessing to our organization. So we love her.
Excellent. Thank you, Linda. That is a great thing. Takara, I want that. That's definitely something to be thankful for. Yeah, Takara. Yeah, definitely. It's dream come true. Like every time we go out, every time, it never gets old. Gets old. Sue is thankful for my best friend and true love. He has made the last 35 years of my life a dream come true. Thank you, Sue. 35 years. Congratulations, Sue. Congratulations. That is no small task. My wife and I are of 31 years, so 35 is an amazing thing, and it is an amazing thing to have someone like that in your life. I made up I don't know, but Dylan, I actually made up a list. I don't know if it's anything that pops. If there's something else that have some here, Dylan. You talked about
I
this
can give you
amazing
another
story.
example.
Give me the next thing that pops in your head. I want to hear it.
So last weekend, I was on Oahu and with my son at the biggest jiu-jitsu grappling tournament in the state. And so my son turned 13 on the 20th. So it's been a couple of days now. And for his birthday, he wanted to participate in this jiu-jitsu tournament. So we flew over there early Saturday morning, spent all day with him and his friends from the club competing. Everybody did really well. And then myself and some of the adults competed on Sunday with some of the teenagers, and everybody did really well. But just super grateful to be able to do that with my son, have that common interest. We probably go to jiu-jitsu practice 3 or 4 times a week and spend that time together. And also grateful to be in a position health-wise, physically, to be able to do that, because it is pretty strenuous physical activity. It's something that definitely keeps my mind and my body sharp. But I have a lot of friends that even I'm 42 now, and that are not in that level of fitness, and that's not something I take for granted. I mean, health span to me is way more important than lifespan, and I want to be as active as I possibly can be, because I mean that really is what makes life worth living, is being able to do stuff like that. But super fun. I always say this is like the pinnacle of being a dad. It's like these teenage years where I get to watch my sons play basketball and fight in tournaments and just do cool stuff. We go surf together, we go dive together. So definitely don't take those days for granted. Cherish every one of those days.
Man, you hit the nail on that head. I was to reflect back on that. I had my daughters now are 27 and 24, and my 27-year-old is living in Reno, Nevada, and my 24-year-old is living in Colorado Springs, and so we're empty nesters. And I am so eternally grateful that as they were growing up, I had right place, right time. And I was always, I think about this now all the time. I was so thankful that if I was always 100% attendance for me as school chaperone. Every school trip that we took, I was the school chaperone. No matter, we went to Kauai, we went to the Big Island, we did all that stuff. Every school trip, I was the school chaperone. Every sporting event, I was there. Dinner every night as a family together, we were all there. And those years are now gone, but I have those things. We did those things, and I'm so eternally thankful. And on the my turn thankful thing, you talk about health. I had some family members who had severe illnesses, and that they were struggling with for years, and they've been so far they've been sort of let's say in remission for over a year, and that is such a blessing for them and for us, because it puts an incredible, as you probably know, when there's an illness in the family, it puts an incredible stress on the whole family to dealing with these issues. It's emotionally stressful, it's physically stressful, and to have this family member that we all love so much to be in remission for a year is really an amazing blessing. So you talk about health, that's it, buddy. I just turned 60, and the bones ain't what they used to be. I still body surfing, man. Still body surfing. still body surfing Makapu. In fact, it was so funny. Okay, so here's a off the cuff thankfulness. So 2 years ago, so I'm 58. 2 years ago, and I'm at Makapu, and it's one of these beautiful Saturday mornings, and every so often a bunch of old guys all get together, and we're all body surfing Makapu, and we all know each other, because we've been there a bunch of times. There's like a gang there, right? So we're all kind of doing our thing, and one of the old guys, he looks at me, he goes, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 58." He goes, "You're just a baby," and I'm like, "Man, that's what I want to. I want to be able to say to a 58-year-old, that's my goal when I grow up in life, right? I want to be body surfing Makapu, look at a 58-year-old and tell him he's just a baby because I'm in my 70s, right? That's the goal, man. That is the goal. So we got Auntie Joan here. Of course, I'm thankful to finally be here in Hawaii. I spent a wonderful day with Heather and Gia yesterday. I'm thankful that you created living in Hawaii, which allowed me to become part of a loving ohana. Thank you, Joan. That is exactly what the goal was, Joan. That's exactly what the goal is, and I'm so glad you hung out with Heather. Is it Gia? Is it Gia or Gia? I apologize if I butchered that out to both you and Heather, but I'm glad you did that. All of you are alumni of the Island Ohana. Glad you guys did that. Fantastic. That is what it is all about. So yeah, Paul, that's it, buddy. That's what it's all about, man. Thanks. Yeah, excellent. Why don't we move on? We'll intersperse unless there's something else that you want to pop out, Dylan. Let's just move on and talk about it, and we'll see how the show goes. We don't have to go for the full hour. Do you have a property that you want to feature at all, or what? Do you have a
I made an update to the slide. I got a cool one. I got a cool one.
Man is yeah. Oh, I want to see this. This is cool. All right, this is really cool. All right, let's have it. What is this thing? Look at this, folks. This is cool.
Check this thing out. So this is, we always have these really, really nice, spectacular properties. And this is also what you can get in Hawaii, right? So this is just a very cool, unique, it's like a pod home design. It's all on one foundation. It's fully fenced all the way around it. But this is an ocean view, which is a southern part of our island, very rural, catchment water. But you can get a very cool, and this is a unique home, but you can get a normal home also for like 400,000 or less, and it's on an acre of land. You are an hour and 15 away from Costco and Walmart and stuff like that. But if you're okay with that and you're okay with rural living, there's definitely options like this. And I just thought this was just a super unique. Every single pod is a different room. So you have the kitchen and living room in one, and then you have bedrooms in the other ones, and there's one little one for a bathroom. So just super, super cool, very unique property. It's permitted, it's totally legal. It's got solar panels, just super, super cool option that if you want some unique Hawaii style type living, this is the kind of stuff that you can get.
Man, I am loving it. The funny part is this is Dylan. Here's what's so cool. Out of all the properties, okay, we've been doing a show for almost 3 years now, 3 years.
Yeah.
I think, right. I think this is the one that's gotten the most comments out of anything you've ever, and you've showcased some amazing properties. Look at Paul's like, nice and reasonably priced. Alex, oh my God, I want that. I want that house. Takara, so unique. Sue, super charming. Joan, that's gorgeous. Look at that. I think you hit something over here. You are pinching a nerve. You're pinching a nerve here. That looks, when I first saw that, it was like, that looks like a yurt style because it's like pod.
It is.
It's individual.
It feels like that. Yeah. It's all like octagon rooms, or hexagon rooms or whatever.
Yeah. Hexagonal. Yeah. It's hexagonal rooms that are, and it's kind of, well, it's, they're solar panels. So I'm sure, they've got that. Like, that is a trip, man. That is a very unique house for a special kind of person. So that is cool. Hey, look, folks, I think, I think this is going to be a short show, which is fine because we're all thankful for everything. This is your last chance. Please pop in the comments. What is it that you're thankful for? Because we're going to move on and have our closing thoughts, and maybe we can do an extended, talk on our motivational thoughts as well. Pop in. What are you thankful for? Joan says it's a steal. 400 grand on Ocean View. I'm going to assume with Dylan's, the way that Dylan stuff, it's a market value. This is what market value is in Ocean View. Now, Dylan, really quick, kind of a trivia question here. Is Ocean View how is Ocean View different from Hawaiian Ocean View Estates, or is it the
Oh,
same
same,
place or a different
same.
district?
Yeah, same. Ocean View,
Same.
just kind of like the abbreviated, but yeah, it's
Yeah, got it.
HOVE. Yep, yep.
Got it. Got it. Hawaiian Ocean View Estate. All right, great. Yeah, happy holidays to you all. Thanks again. Well, Merry Christmas. I say Merry Christmas after Thanksgiving. Thanks to you, Stan. Thanks for being here. We appreciate that you are here. All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Let's do our closing thoughts. Let's see. Where's Dylan's? Is right over here. A great one, Dylan. Thank you. Pop it in and let's talk about it.
Well, just had to go with the gratitude, gratefulness quote here. But gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. And I definitely think that's true. I do it with my team, a 5-minute call every morning at 5:10 a.m. and we just share something that we're grateful for, something positive, a win in our life. And I just think it's so important to start your day. And if you view the world through a lens of gratitude and gratefulness, it changes everything bad that's ever happened to you into a lesson or something positive that you could have learned from and made you stronger and made you better. And so just we're in the season of that, but the season should never end. The season of gratitude should never end.
There are on that note, I'm sure you've come across these. There are countless studies, scientific studies, psychological studies that say, those that maintain a sense of gratitude have all kinds of positive health benefits. There's all kinds of things by having by putting forth the old attitude of gratitude, right? Attitude of gratitude creates all kinds of positive benefits. I don't know if there's any that any stats you've come across that you want to share about that, but that is a huge thing. Attitude of gratitude is where it's
There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. What you focus on expands, right? If you focus on the things that you're grateful for, those things will expand. The type of energy will expand. Those people will expand in your life. I mean, so there's so much to it. It sounds like hocus pocus, but I mean, it's so true, and you just see so many examples of it every single day.
I was gonna say, did you get that from the Hindu temple visit that you went to?
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't know much about the Hindu religion. I'm sure it's great, but I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, no, and the funny part is, you said it sounds like, a quote sounds like hocus pocus, and it does sound like hocus pocus to it may sound like that to one who has a strictly materialistic view of the world. Materialistic view means we're nothing but a bunch of atoms, and atoms randomly smashing together that ended up in people. That is one perspective, but there's a whole other a worldview, one that I subscribe to, which is that no, it's not atoms and energy is not fundamental, but rather consciousness is fundamental. Consciousness comes first. What comes first, mind or matter? What came first, mind or matter? Right? My perspective is mind came first. Mind comes first. Mind is what matter is an expression of mind, not the other way around. And if you believe that, which I do, then it's all about mind. It's all about mind. It's all about mind.
Yeah.
It's all about it.
I heard a great thing the other day that if you only have a few seconds and you're not sure what to pray about, just pray and say you're thankful for whatever you have in life, and you're done. So you got to
do. That's it. That's it. There was another one that thank you for bringing that up. I'm thankful you brought that up, because one of the things that someone told me a long time ago is, if you're ever feeling down about something, make a list of all the people that you can express thanks for, and contact them in some way, shape, or form, and tell them why you're thankful for them, why you are thankful for how they're in your life. And I did it a bunch of times. It's been that was one of the most rewarding things.
We just did this exercise over the last 2 weeks. Is we bought thank you cards and stamps for everybody on the whole team, and we gave everybody 4 cards. And the assignment was you have to write 4 handwritten notes to someone in your world that you're grateful for. So you have to actually stop what you're doing and actually handwrite a note. And it was a great exercise. People loved it. I mean, never thought about doing that, right? So that was super awesome. And then the last thing I want to share that I'm grateful for after discussions last night is no one was going to go Black Friday shopping in my family, which is super cool. I thought that we're beyond going Black Friday shopping, because that was like a big thing for many years, especially with my dad. They loved to go Black Friday shopping, and everybody was like,
wait, so what's this? Expand on this a little bit. So what's this?
Well, going back to that's one of the problems with Thanksgiving is they turn it right into a material holiday by Black Friday, right? And so you kind of shift from being grateful for what you have to like buying crap that you don't need, right? And so I just thought it was cool. In the discussion last night, everybody was kind of talking about who's going to go Black Friday shopping tomorrow, and no one was going to go. And I just thought that was a cool thing amongst the family, because it used to be
Wow.
a big tradition. You know, in my family, a lot of people would go and do the Black Friday shopping, but there was kind of unanimous agreement that it was unnecessary and nobody's going to participate today. So I just thought that was cool.
I think that is remarkable. I mean,
Because
what I'm hearing is that this kind
I've been anti Black Friday for many years, not because of the materialist nature. Just I don't like all those people. I don't like to go into like the crowds of insanity and like have physical altercations over a flat screen TV. So I've always I don't know if I've ever gone to the store on Black Friday, but so it's never been a thing for me. But a lot of my family still liked it. But yesterday there was unanimous decision. Nobody's doing Black Friday this year. So.
now, I think what's interesting about that is that not just that your family did it, but it was somewhat of a spontaneous thing. Like as you guys were discussing it, it wasn't like you came out and said, as a result of
We
our
should
new
stop
tradition, no one's going to go. Right. It, it came out, right? That's
Yeah.
really cool. It came out. That is, yeah. Yeah. I stayed away from, to me, Black Friday was something I would watch on TV, because I just did not, look, I didn't even want to go shopping the day before Thanksgiving because it was going to be a mess, right? Stay away. Like I knew Wednesday was going to be a mess. I'm not going anywhere near that. We got everything that we need. We're all good. I'm going to pop in a few comments that have come in. Thank you folks for sharing. Joan, thank you, Joan. Joan, you have been a reliable source of motivational thoughts every time. So I appreciate that. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Don't let anyone else hold the pen. Takara, thank you, Takara, who is also an alumni, as Joan is, an alumni of the Islander Ohana. I'm thankful for my family's health. I'm thankful for the $200 round trip airfare I snagged to Hawaii in January. Yay. Now I got to find a place to stay. Also thankful for living in Hawaii and the amazing resource you've created. Peter, it's been so helpful in finding clarity and community. I'm so happy about that. Thanks. Guys, I, as you all know, you're not being egged to do that. So I appreciate you guys doing it. And it's very rewarding to it's been kind of a labor of love of my own to kind of get this thing going. And it's kind of fun to see the positive feedback that you guys have. Barbara, staying physically active. I started running at age 50. Good on you. And have done 4 San Francisco marathons plus the New York City marathon and turned 90 in 2 weeks. Thank God I'm still in good shape. Oh my God, Barbara.
Amazing.
Barbara, that is amazing. That is amazing. God bless. Jeez, that is incredible. That is motivating. Barbara, that's something, man. That is something. God bless. A bit younger. I'd love to move back to Hawaii. Aloha. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Joan agrees. Attitude of gratitude, main tenets of my metaphysical teaching. It's a universal. I think it's one of these sort of universal truths, Joan. It's kind of a universal truth, and I think it's universal truth because it works. It works, and everybody knows it. So you kind of can't escape it. You could, scientifically verified. Even the materialists have to agree with that. And Amy says, "Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you to all of you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you back. Appreciate that you are here." I had okay. So for my motivation, I always do Proverbs, right? I always do Proverbs, but not today. I came across something, and it's not even thanks related. It's not even thankful related, but maybe it just kind of, I don't know. It just popped in. I thought I'd really kind of share it. And I got this quote from Jordan Peterson, which I thought was really, 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 really cool. And maybe if you folks have a few seconds before we close it up over here, or we'll talk some more and we'll see how it goes. What would your life be like if you made use of all the potential that you were offered? In other words, what do you have the potential for in your life, the potential that you've been offered? What kinds of things, what would your life be like if you really, really, really made use of all of your gifts, right? We all have gifts. We all have things that we've been given in life. We all have strengths and weaknesses. We let go of the weaknesses for a moment and focus on your strengths. What is it that you're naturally good at? What are your potentials? What could you do, right, if you made use of all of that potential? And I think that what Jordan Peterson has said again and again and again is that really we have infinite potential. And I thought that quote was really good, and it's something for all of us to think about. And I know, but well, Dylan, as
I heard a great thing related to that recently at the last conference I went to. It was I forget who the speaker was, but they were talking about how your thing, your superpower, people tell you what it is all the time. You're just not listening. In life and business, we kind of have a vision of who we want to be and what we want to do versus just doubling down and going all in on the thing that we're really good at. And the point was like, listen carefully for the thing that you're really good at, because your people tell you about it. They compliment you all the time about it, but you're just not listening and you're not focusing all your energy on that thing. So when somebody says you're great at this or thanks so much for doing that, those are the things that you really need to build your skills on, or put more energy into, because that's what you're doing best. And that's your potential, right? That a lot of times you leave your potential on the table because you want to do this thing which maybe you're not that good at it, but you think you should be. So you spend time and energy doing a thing you're not good at instead of focusing on the thing that you are good at. So I just thought that's what came to mind. And the other thing about Jordan Peterson, I love him, love his thought process. He did a podcast I just listened to with Theo Vaughn, who's a goofy comedian, and it was one of the best podcasts because Jordan's always like super serious and philosophical and thoughtful, and then have him in an environment with a comedian who was kind of making jokes and fun of what he was saying. It was a great more humanistic presentation than the real serious lectures that Jordan Peterson usually does. So check that out, Theo Vaughn and Jordan Peterson.
I'm gonna look that up. I mean, he's on my podcast feed, but of course, like, I don't know about you, but I've got way more podcasts than I'm subscribed to than I possibly can ever listen to ever.
Same.
But
Same.
right. So I gotta really be select. But I will go back and try to find that one, because
and that is something I'm grateful. That's something I'm grateful for, is having access to these high level thinkers in business, life, philosophy, that we can like literally whatever you want to learn about that day, you can just go find a podcast or 1 hour YouTube video and get super smart on whatever it is. And man, is that something that is amazing about our lifetime having access to, because in the past you have to go to college and pay $100,000 a year and have very limited access to who you actually had access to, what kind of thought process you had access to. And nowadays it's like anybody and anything. I love it.
Man, you said it. You said it. I'm going to catch up on a few comments that have been popping in over here. We're having a great show today, folks. Thank you. You're all making it awesome. Auntie Joan says, Barbara, don't let the age bother you. Come on, move here. I want to meet you. Joan, this is public information. You just shared your 80th birthday, not too long ago. So, Joan, Barbara, you're in that age range. Joan did it. And I'm not sure this is related exactly, but Amy says absolutely. I think Amy is talking to about relating to her comment here. But thank you, Amy, for coming. Tom is back. Tom Falconer. Tom, alumni of the Honor Hana, who's living on the Big Island. Thanks to Dylan and his team. It's been a while, but aloha to all and happy Thanksgiving. Well, thank you, Tom. We are thankful that you are here. Amy comments back, the limitlessness of giving, the pure form of love. Yes, indeed. Takara in Greece, me too. Don't have enough hours in my life to listen to them all. I'm oversubscribed, but it's this thing of abundance, right? Talk about abundance. My God, it's incredible, right? It's unbelievable. Momo says, aloha, Peter and Dylan. Nice to catch you guys live. Loving the topics. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks. I'm so glad that you're enjoying this. I am so thankful the way this show turned out. I had no, right, Dylan? Like, okay, we all don't know the way it's going to work, right? We have no idea it's like, okay, here we go. It's just Dylan and I, but it worked out. It worked out great. I'm totally happy about it. Joan, Auntie Joan shows comes next month. Okay. Next month, 81. So Barbara, Joan's just a baby compared to Barbara. So Joan, I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you're just a baby. You're just a baby compared to Barbara. Barbara, do it. And Amy says, amazing, Joan. Yes, it is. It is. Joan is, and she's great. Joan is awesome. All right. So look, folks, if you want to wrap this up, give us your final comments. I think we're going to close this one up over here at this point. I was going to say, Dylan, on your point, I want to comment back on this though. It is such an amazing resource, right? About you're talking about the things that we can access, the information that we have access to. Rick, hello from Staten Island. Hey, how's it, Rick? Good to see you, buddy. Glad you're first time here from Staten Island. I mean, first time that you're on our show. Thanks, Rick. I'm glad that you're here. Dylan, you talked about the access to everything. It's astounding, right? I was just today. I'm listening to first time I've heard a podcast where a guy is interviewing a senior a senior Israeli military intelligence reporter. The guy's been reporting on the Israelis for like decades. So this guy knows the ins and the outs of everything. And to hear this conversation is like mind-boggling, right? Stuff that it's just an amazing insight, just like mind-blowing. And Hillsdale College, they're doing this great podcast series on the founding of America and the foundational principles and the legal basis and the Constitution and all this kind of stuff. Like, man, and like you said, normally you would have to pay a small fortune if you could even do it and show up to a college and live nearby. It was absolutely not accessible. You couldn't come near it. But now it's all here. All right, folks, give us your finals over here, because we are gonna bid you all aloha, and we're gonna see you in a couple of weeks. This was a slightly not much shorter than usual, folks. You made it great. I just want to thank you all for a moment here. Thank you all. This was I'm so thankful that all of the comments that you all gave, it was absolutely fabulous. Made the show so much fun. I'm really glad that Dylan, I was like, we're on the fence about, man, should we do a show on Friday after Thanksgiving? I'm not too sure, and I said, should we do it? And Dylan said, let's do it. It's okay, fine. We'll do it. Aloha, Amy. Thank you so much. And I'm really, 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 really thankful that we did. Dylan, say goodbye. Oh, Sue says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Sue. Yes, Dylan, say goodbye. Christmas.
Hello, everybody. Have an awesome weekend. Thankful for all of you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for making this like one of the best shows that we've had in a long time. It was so much fun. Dylan, go back to your family. Have a great time in Waikoloa.
I'm headed to the
Waikoloa
pool.
Village. Jump in that pool, man. I think I'm going to go in that tropical water again today with my wife. So Tom says, Aloha, folks. Have a great one. See y'all later. Aloha. Have a happy, wonderful Thanksgiving weekend holiday.